Hey Manson, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from camp. I'm going to go through and talk a little bit about your delivery and your motion, and to make sure you kind of get an understanding of everything, and we'll go through and talk a little bit about the mechanics at each step and what we look for, and ways that we can make ourselves efficient, ways that we can make ourselves being able to repeat our delivery, and most importantly, to generate as much power so we can add some velocity and to keep ourselves healthy too. So we're going to go through and we'll go back here to start here, and we're going to go and just mark up and watch what we do through our initial setup. So much of how we start dictates how we're going to finish. So we got to make sure that we're starting right. All right. So you're seeing here how you see that little rock back through that leg lift. We want to try to eliminate that rock back and get you set up back here initially. All right, so now you're set up over that back foot a little bit more, so we're not having to rock back. All right, it's just efficiency. It's easier to recreate. So all it is just a weight shift. Just shift that weight over that back foot, so we're not bumping backwards. All right. Also, too, it's kind of hard to see, but it looks like you're not looking at the target. It looks like you're kind of looking down here. Once this foot first lifts up, we got to have eyes on that target the whole time. All right, and that's just something that's easy to do and helps out so much. It's just something to make sure you're doing okay. So now what the whole driving force of our mechanics, of our delivery of velocity, is our hips. And so we want to try to get our hips in a closed position and have them lead down the mound. And that's what's going to create all the forces and everything. All right, you do a good job at getting down the hill and extending out. We just got to get them initially set up in a little bit better spot. And so all that is just close them off a little bit more. Try to get them a little bit more over that back foot. So now you're closed off a little bit more. Now those hips are in prime position to stay closed and lead down the mound. So then as you drive down the mound, you can see this foot kind of start to kick out a little bit early. And so at here, our foot would still be behind our hips. It might just be starting to get out right here. So you can see that foot just swings out a little bit open early, and then it causes you to rush open early too. So you're kind of taking the lower half out of the equation, and so to make up for it, this upper body has to sort of start a little bit early. So watching right as you get to right about here would be a pretty good foot strike position. So once that front foot hits the ground, but you can see your foot still off the ground. And so when you hit the ground, which is about, looks like, I think your heel probably contacts right here. So you can see everything starting to turn right here. If we're looking at the front, your head's tilting off to the side towards that first base side. All right, we want to try to get your head a little bit straighter. All right, there can be a little bit of turn, but not too much. You're just seeing, as you're seeing here, everything's a big posture change to the left side. So if we're looking at you from the front, you're looking at about that way. All right, so you're pulling off early. That's putting extra strain on your shoulder and your elbow. And so when you start getting older and getting stronger, that's going to start leading to some arm problems when you're yanking that early. All right, and you can see how your head's still off to the side through your release point. And pulling off early, getting out front early, you're going to see a push with the ball. You can see how there's that space here with that elbow is just getting pushed, and again, more strain on that elbow. So the more we can stay through that backside, the better off we're going to be. So try to get in the habit of at this foot strike, oops, my bad, at this foot strike here, try to get this front elbow closed a little bit longer and keep that glove on over that front foot. All right, as you rotate, that glove stays out there, and then that elbow just rotates down. All right, and then what you're going to be able to find is the more you can keep that left shoulder closed, the more extension through our back leg we're going to get. So then through a release, you can see here, your back foot is at an angle, your head's about over that heel, and you're going to see yourself drive through that back leg and get more extension and get that head out a little bit farther over that front foot. to probably more around here. And so you're going to pick up more release. You're going to get a little bit more angle on the ball, but you're going to get out of that habit of pushing it. So you're going to stay through that back leg a little bit longer and drive through it so you can stay closed and get a little bit better release off everything. So, work on that initial setup. Your drive, your lower half is pretty good through here. You get really good extension down the mound, and then you just kind of right at that last second jump out, start turning, and get out front a little bit too early, where it's going to cause some problems for you a little bit later. All right. So another thing too, looking back at it here, is tempo-wise too. Just watching your tempo here. You come up, you start, and then you kind of pause, and then try to get going. All right, try to get going a little bit sooner. So what I mean by that is once you get up here, you should be getting going right there, and just work on that tempo initially. All right, just get that tempo going, and then you can stay back in that back leg a little bit more, and kind of go from there. So hopefully you're able to see a few things and work on a few things. You got a good idea of that lower half. Now it's just a matter of staying closed longer, staying in that back leg a little bit longer, and you're going to be good to go. So thanks for making it out to camp. Hopefully you had a great time. Good luck this season too, and hopefully we'll see you again with ABC.